Antwerp is the diamond capital of the world. Not Amsterdam, not Johannesburg, not New York, Antwerp. 85% of all the rough diamonds on the planet pass through this Belgian port city. Every stone that eventually ends up in a ring or necklace has likely passed through a small 2-square-kilometer block in the center of Antwerp. The Diamond Quarter, 4 streets, Appelmanstraat, Hoogstraat, Scoopstraat, Pelikanstraat. Several hundred jewelry firms, dealers, brokers, appraisers, polishers. Most are Orthodox Jews, whose families have been trading diamonds since the 17th century. The annual turnover of the quarter is between $25 and $30 billion a year. Cameras on every lamppost, private security at every entrance, drawbridges over canals with coded access, video surveillance of every entering car. In terms of the density of valuables per square meter, this block surpasses the state treasuries of most countries in the world. And at the center of this block is the Antwerp Diamond Center, a 5-story gray stone building at Scoopstraat 9/11. It's unremarkable from the outside. 2 floors below ground level is a safe room with 363 safes, a vault that industry circles called the most secure civilian safe in the world. What they didn't know was that for 2 years now, someone had been working nearby, examining every bolt of this defense from the inside. In February 2003, it was broken into, over a weekend, quietly. They took away over $100 million in diamonds, gold, cash, and jewelry. And then they left, leaving almost no trace. The world only learned of it on Monday morning. An employee came to work, opened the vault door, looked at the 123 looted boxes, and called the police. But we have to start with the man, because this robbery was the work of one man. The rest were just tools. He was the brains, the architect, and the executioner all rolled into one. His name was Leonardo Notarbartolo, Italian, 50 years old, a professional thief with 30 years of experience, a native of Turin, from a group that Italian investigators called the Scuola di Torino, the Turin School, not a gang. Not a group in the traditional sense, a group of highly qualified specialists, each with a specific skill, each with an impeccable reputation in professional circles. A locksmith, an electronics technician, a mechanic, a driver, simply called Bystri, and Notarbartolo, the coordinator, a man who knew how the security was structured and knew how to bypass it. In 2001, Notarbartolo showed up in Antwerp. He introduced himself as a jeweler from Turin. He brought samples, a small selection of stones in a leather briefcase. He opened accounts at several local banks. He met local dealers and began attending business meetings. They accepted him as one of their own. He knew the diamond business, spoke the right language, and behaved appropriately. He rented a small office in the Antwerp Diamond Center building. Officially, it was for storing samples and for business meetings with clients. He also set up a personal safe deposit box in the vault. All of this was completely legal. Thousands of dealers were doing the same. For 28 months, he came to the office like an ordinary tenant, nodded to the security guard, ride the elevator, descend into the vault, ostensibly to check his stones. He looked like a regular, a familiar face. The guard stopped checking him so closely. That was the plan, to become furniture, to become part of the landscape, a person noticed but not seen. He always carried a small suitcase with rock samples in his leather briefcase and a tiny video camera hidden inside, pointed outward through a barely visible hole. During each visit, it recorded guard routes, shifts, procedures, camera locations, the vault's combination, every time someone entered it in front of him. He took his time, 28 months. Each visit, another piece of information, another detail of the diagram. By the end, he had a complete 3-dimensional understanding of the building, the guards, and the security system. Now about the system itself. 2 floors underground, a safe room built in 1974 and modernized several times since then. A 3-ton alloy steel door, a lock with 100 million possible combinations. Infrared heat and motion detectors. A seismic sensor reacted to vibrations from attempts to drill or saw. Doppler radar tracked movement inside the room even through walls. A magnetic field detected any metal object introduced into the area. The building had its own private security, 24-hour video surveillance, plus it was located in the center of the most secure neighborhood in Europe. The police were literally minutes away. At first glance, it seemed completely impenetrable. At second glance, it all seems like it was invented by people, and anything invented by people can be taken apart. Thermal sensors. They react to changes in body temperature in the room. Notarbartolo solved the problem using women's hairspray, an aerosol can. The nozzle is aimed at the sensor. A thin film of hairspray covers an infrared lens. The sensor is blinded. When it works, it sees only itself. The police couldn't believe for a long time that hairspray had bypassed a system that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it's true. The Doppler radar was disabled using plastic film and a piece of foam, which were positioned in a specific way inside the safe room. Sounds simple. It worked flawlessly. A seismic sensor required the locksmith to use only vibration-damped tools and at a specific speed. Slowly, without jerking, without pressure, without vibration. Several hours of work. A lock with hundreds of millions of combinations. The combination was known in advance because it was recorded on camera during scheduled visits. The CCTV cameras, the tapes, were confiscated and taken away from the building. On Sunday morning, the security system had blank screens. Not because the cameras had been turned off, but because the tapes had been replaced with blank ones. They chose the right weekend. The Diamond District hosts a professional tennis tournament every year, an industry event that brings together traders and employees in one location outside the city. Saturday and Sunday, fewer people in the offices, less traffic outside the building. And one more detail. The building allowed tenants to enter on Saturdays without additional security checks, through a special entrance with a magnetic card, without a security guard on duty. This had been a rule in place for years. No one had ever broken it. Yet, Notarbartolo entered early Saturday morning as a regular tenant. He nodded to the security guard on the cameras. He took the elevator. He entered the office. He closed the door and stayed inside. By midday, the entire team was inside the building. They had entered through various means, through different entrances. By Saturday evening, they had descended into the vault. The locksmith stood before the 3-ton door. The work took several hours. Each sensor was a separate task, a separate solution. The thermal sensor, a few seconds with hairspray. The Doppler radar, a foam pad at a precise point. The seismic radar, precise work with keys and tools with vibration dampers. No impacts, no pressure, only smooth rotation. They knew the lock combination by heart. They recorded it on video hundreds of times over 2 years of observation. 300 turns of the dial. One click after another. The door opened. 363 lockers. They opened them selectively. They knew which ones were promising. Serial number, lock size, registry position. 2 years of surveillance gave them an idea of who was holding what. Diamonds scattered across the floor, hundreds, thousands of carats, bags of cash, gold bars, jewelry. The bags filled up. CCTV tapes were removed and replaced with blanks. Not a single frame of the operation. Traces were carefully cleaned up. By Sunday dawn, everything was ready. The bags were brought to the surface, loaded into the car. A quick start. Monday, 7 in the morning. The security guard arrives for his shift. He raises the blinds at the entrance. Inside, nothing unusual at first glance. Second floor, a vault. He opens the door and sees that the safe room is empty, or rather, open. Every opened compartment gapes empty. On the floor are opening tools, wrappers, empty wallets and purses, discarded as unnecessary. Documents left behind, money taken. The security guard calls the police at 7:23. Investigators from several agencies converge on Antwerp. By midday, the news hits the press. By evening, it's front pages around the world. The robbery of the century. For the first time in history, someone has broken into the safe of the Antwerp Diamond Center. The investigation began. The first hours revealed that the perpetrators were top-notch professionals. No obvious signs, no broken doors, no smashed cameras. They worked like surgeons, carefully, methodically, with an understanding of every system. Detective Patrick Piles took charge of the investigation. He immediately realized this wasn't a random gang. This was an operation planned for at least a year, most likely longer. They needed to find an entry point, an office lease, a list of tenants, 300 names, 300 addresses, 300 biographies that needed to be verified. Then a local called. He was driving out of town on the E19 a highway near Antwerp, the shoulder, a narrow strip of forest, and trash. A few plastic bags carelessly thrown near the trees. The man stopped, looked, and saw envelopes stamped Antwerp Diamond Center and called. It was a failure no one had foreseen. In the chaos after the robbery, the driver, Beastry, stopped by the forest to throw out his trash. Packages, bags, documents, scraps of food. He thought, this is someone else's forest. No one will find it. He was wrong. The bags contained envelopes from the Diamond Center, empty plastic packaging, a piece of half-eaten food, not a salami sandwich per se. It was food scraps with biological material, with DNA lab analysis, then a comparison with databases across Europe, then a video surveillance rental invoice made out to Leonardo Notarbartolo with an address in Turin. The invoice, which should have been burned or left in the office, instead ended up in a trash bag in the woods near the E19. A few days later, Detective Piles traveled to Turin. Italian colleagues helped. Notarbartolo was arrested in his home. His wife was nearby. Nothing suspicious in the living room. Not a single piece of jewelry from Antwerp. Not a single stone. Not a single euro over the limit. $100 million vanished. Along with Notarbartolo, arrested were Ferdinando Finotto, an electronics technician, Elio Donorio, an alarm specialist, and Pietro Tavano, one of the perpetrators. The driver, Beastry, whose real name remains unknown, he went into hiding and remains elusive. And most importantly, the locksmith, dubbed Re dei Chiavi, the King of Keys, in the Italian press, the man whose hands forced open a door weighing 3 tons. His name has never been established. He is at large. The trial. Notarbartolo received 10 years. Finotto, Donorio, and Tavano received sentences of 7 to 8 years. Notarbartolo was paroled in 2009. He served 6 years. Immediately after his release, he gave an interview to Wired magazine, a long, detailed account of the operation. Thousands read the interview. Many were shocked, not by the robbery itself, but by what Notarbartolo revealed. According to his version, it was actually an inside conspiracy. He was hired by a mysterious Jewish diamond dealer, the owner of several safe deposit boxes in the vault. The dealer allegedly stored low-quality diamonds with dubious documentation of origin in the safe deposit boxes, stones that could not be sold legally. His plan? Organize the robbery of his own safe deposit boxes, collect the insurance payout for the precious stones, while the actual insured valuables never existed. According to this version, the actual amount stolen was significantly less than claimed, and the insurer paid for something that never happened. The mysterious dealer disappeared shortly before the robbery. No investigator ever found him. Neither the official version nor Notarbartolo's was ever definitively confirmed. Detective Piles would later tell reporters, "We never knew exactly how much was in there. The safe wasn't insured. The list of the box's contents is the owner's private information. We can't verify what was in there or how much it was worth. 100 million, a figure repeated by every newspaper around the world. It could have been accurate. It could have been greatly exaggerated, or, conversely, understated. There is no truth, no diamonds, no people, only empty boxes in a vault beneath the Schopstraat on September 11th. The diamonds were never found. Never. Not a single one. Not a single carat of what was in those bags. $100 million, or some other figure, we'll never know for sure, disappeared. The diamonds were dispersed throughout the supply chain. Small traders, resellers, and jewelry workshops that don't ask too many questions. A rough diamond without a GIA certificate is just a stone. No number, no history, no proof of origin. Selling it through the right channel is easy. The insurance company paid part of the losses to the victims. The Diamond Center completely modernized its security system and never publicly disclosed the exact amount of the losses. In 2025, Netflix released the documentary series Stolen, Heist of the Century, produced by Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. The story lives on. That's what makes this case a legend, and not just a robbery. Notarbartolo didn't break in, he didn't smash, he didn't break in. He simply became part of this place, slipping past security guards for 3 years, drinking coffee at a nearby cafe, renting a safe deposit box in the very same vault he eventually cracked. 85% of the world's diamonds passed through a district he knew better than its creators. A lock with 100 million combinations was recorded on video through a hole in a briefcase. Heat sensors worth hundreds of thousands of dollars proved helpless against €3 hairspray. 100 years of diamond trading, the most expensive district in Europe, the best security engineers, and it all came crashing down in one weekend. Not because Notarbartolo was a genius, but because he was patient. 28 months, every visit a detail, every detail part of a plan. A perfect plan, perfect execution. And one trash bag in the woods off the E19. One piece of uneaten food. One call from a passerby to the police. 100 million, and trash on the side of the road.